Hey everyone and welcome to our channel. In today's video we're diving into the world of Jira workflows. Whether you're a project manager, a developer, or simply looking to streamline your team's processes, understanding Jira workflows is essential. In this video I'm going to show you how to create basic workflows, show you where you can get the inspirations for creating new workflows, as well as how to automate some mundane tasks. I will also share some ideas to optimize your team's productivity. So grab a coffee, hit that subscribe button, and let's get started. Are you ready to take your project and portfolio management to the next level? At Genius Gecko we offer expert PPM, consultations and other services tailored to your unique needs. Our experienced consultants will help you streamline processes, optimize resources, and achieve your project goals with ease. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Schedule your free consultation today and discover how we can transform your project and portfolio management environment. Link in the description. In Jira, a workload essentially maps out the journey that a task or issue takes from its inception to its completion. It helps teams to standardize their processes, track progress, and ensure that the tasks are completed in a consistent and efficient manner. Before we start creating our workflow, it's worth mentioning that in order to edit workflows, you will need Jira administrator or project administrator permissions, because otherwise you won't be able to actually do much with the workflow. So in Jira, there are two types of projects. Now, when you start a new project, you can pick from all these different templates, and most of them will have a different workflow. Now, when you click on it, you will see that this particular blank project has quite a simple workflow. However, when it comes to work management, if I select, for example, new employee onboarding, the workflow will differ. Now, this can give you some ideas or inspiration for creating your own workflows. However, what is important to mention is that there are two types of projects in Jira. The first one is team manage, in which case the workflows are simplified, hence easier to design, but also offer less options when it comes to, for example, permissions or flexibility or in general configuration. So I will be using the company managed projects. For that particular type of project, you will need to be a Jira administrator to edit and design a workflow. And these workflows can be shared among multiple projects. Another thing that you can do if you are looking for a ready-to-use workflow is to go to the Atlassian's marketplace and search for a workflow. Here you will find plenty of tools that will automate your workflows even further, but also ready-to-use workflows. So for example, there is one for the QA team, which you can get for free and start using it right away. Great, now that we know what is needed to actually edit or create a workflow, let's see how to do it. If you want to create a new workflow, you can go to Jira settings, issues, and find workflows and workflow schemes in the side panel. Alternatively, you can open an issue and click on the status drop-down, where you will see the view workflow option and the edit workflow button as well. So I will be creating a new one. Let's leave it for now and go to Jira settings. Okay, so we're back in the Jira settings, and when you select the workflows, you will see the list of already created or existing workflows, as well as the add workflow button, together with another option to import workflows from the marketplace. So here the list is narrowed and you have plenty of workflows to pick from. But let's get back to the workflows and start working on a new one. So let's select create new and let's call it Genius workflow. You can also add a description and let's hit create. Alright, now our workflow was created. I might need to adjust the zoom on my browser so that everything looks correctly. And here there are a couple of options to pick from, starting with the diagram or the text layout. So you can add steps within your workflow using this interface instead of doing it using a diagram. You can also export your workflow, switch to the editor, as well as change the default editor. I will start using the diagram, and here there are two main things that you can do. Add a new status. So as an example of the status is what you see on the screen is the open status. The dot here is your starting point where you create a new Jira work item. So let's first add a couple of statuses. Now I already have the open one, so the next status or state that I will enter is in progress. In progress I can pick from the existing options and let's hit add. Right now, as you can see, my in progress status has no incoming transitions. That's because I haven't enabled that option when creating it, but let's do it with the next one. Let's say the next step in the process would be in review. Alright, this time I will allow all the statuses to transition to this one, and right now I can see that I can transition or move from any other status to that particular state within my workflow. Now the next state or status would be approved, and in this case this would be a new status. So when I create a new status, this pop-up will appear asking me what is the description as well as the category. And this is very important, especially when it comes to reporting on, for example, progress of your issues. Each status has to belong to one of these three categories: to do, in progress, done. This would be a solid base for creating a report, especially if you have quite a lot of states or statuses within your workflow, in which case to generate your report, Jira can look at the actual status categories instead of looking at each status separately. In case of approved state, it would be in the in progress category, and let's hit create. Now you might want to add some additional states such as ready for testing, and done. Alright, so far so good. So we already have some created transitions. That basically means that I can switch to in review from any of these states. But if I want to restrict this and not allow the users to actually switch from open directly to in review, then I would create a line or transition just between these two particular states. We can call it start work, and I can also connect a screen to that particular transition. What does this mean? It means that whenever I select the in progress status, Jira will open a selected screen, and here I can force users to add some additional information, for example, populate a field, add an estimate of the effort needed to complete this task, or actually any other field. So let's hit add, and I've added my first transition. Now I will do that for the remaining ones. Alright, so far so good. Now I will add one more transition that will take me back from in review state into in progress in case the submitted work was rejected. I might also add a screen that will actually require the person reviewing the work to add some explanation of why it was rejected. So I created a separate screen for that, just with two fields, the reviewer and the rejection reason. And so every time a reviewer rejects the work, Jira will require a person to populate these fields. Alright, so far so good. We have the workflow almost ready. Now we can show all the labels, so it is clear what's happening at each transition. And right now, when you click on one of the transitions, on one of these lines, you will have this additional pop-up with a couple of options, including properties, triggers, conditions, validators, and post functions. So only the post functions are already created by default, and we will go over each one of those options as they can greatly enhance and automate your workflow. When we work with our clients, we often encounter intricate workflows that, while comprehensive, can be counterproductive. For example, a workload might have numerous statuses and transitions that make it difficult for the team to follow and manage issues effectively. So if you want to streamline workflows and boost your productivity, improve and optimize your PPM environment, reducing confusion and bottlenecks, contact us and schedule a free consultation. The first consultation is absolutely free, and I'm sure that our team will be able to find a solution that works for you best. When it comes to triggers this automatically transition issues when certain events occur in connected development systems. So I won't be going into details with this one. Condition, on the other hand, ensure that only specific users or under certain conditions can perform transitions. So here you will have a list of all available conditions, and this include, for example, blocking transition until approval, hide from users, only assignee, only reporter can execute the transition, and so on and so forth, or user belonging to a specific group. So these are pretty straightforward. Let's move on to the next option. That would be the validators. When it comes to validators, here again the list of options is quite limited, and validators basically check that the input provided during the transition is valid before the transition is performed. So for example, ensure that all required fields are filled in. That would be the field required validator. You can also compare two dates, or you can check whether your team has actually updated a required field or the field was modified during the transition, and so on and so forth. So again, these are, I think, well explained. Let's have a look at the post functions. So I mentioned that there are already a couple of post functions created. So the post functions basically perform additional processing after a transition is executed, like add a comment to an issue if one is entered during the particular transition, or update the change history. There are more advanced post functions that will automate the process. For example, assign to a current user, assign to a lead developer, assign to a reporter, update the issue field, update a custom field. So again, couple of options to automate the next steps that you will have to do manually after the issue is transitioned. And the last one would be the properties. So here I can add a property to, for example, control whether an issue can be edited in a particular status, or restrict certain actions to specific users or groups. So this is just the start. Jira automations and tools like Script Runner can do so much more. Tell us what you want to automate in the comments, and if you'd rather skip the setup, we're here to optimize your workflows and your processes for you. So get in touch. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.